Welcome to the channel. It's a beautiful day outside. A little on the cooler side, which I think the temperatures are actually going to start dropping here. Today, we're going to cut, I guess you could say, some cornfields, at least 2 of them, and not in the way you might think, unfortunately. If you watched one of the videos where I went over basically our growth on the cornfields, not so great on a couple of them. So we're gonna be bush hogging them down because it's really, at least portions of it, the one whole field for sure. And you know, we're gonna get in preparations probably to plant some wheat. So there's no point in even running the combine up there. So we're gonna mow some of those and then some other fields that just failed. And unfortunately, with Hurricane Debbie that came through, it flooded the pumpkin patch, the big pumpkin patch that we had, killed all the plants, and now it's just a big field of foxtail. So that needs mowed as well. It's just, we took a chance, I guess, by planting that stuff down there. The corn was well established, that got flooded too, but that should be okay. I'm hoping it's dry enough down there, because if it's not dry enough, this could be trouble. Now, the bush hog we're gonna be using is a little bit different. I'm not sure if I had the Coyote with the 6-foot bush hog before, but now we're actually going to be using a Kubota M18 or an M8085, I think it is. I'm not sure. We'll see that in a second here. And it's also a 15-foot bush hog. So we're going to make quick work of all this mowing. As I said, it is a gorgeous day out right now. Before anything, we'll let the chickens out. The garden here is a whole nother animal when it came to weeds. Disgusting. Here we are. Yeah, an M8580. Is that what I said? I don't remember. This is what we will be using today. This is 4-wheel drive, diesel, and here's the big batwing mower that is going to make quick and easy work of what we're going to try and do. I'll let that warm up for a few minutes and we'll just go over to the field. I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is what we're dealing with. Even this. So first cornfield here you can see is the kind of taller area. Same thing up here. That's cornfield. And then we left this for a hayfield. And even this hayfield is terrible. There is just ragweed, foxtail. It's a lot of weeds. There's some grass in here, but it is by far a nice hayfield. This is just ridiculous. There's a little bit of corn in through there. I mean, it just looks like it was a planted foxtail field, more or less is what it looks like. So this whole thing here is just getting mowed. There's no point, no sense in even keeping this. And there's a little bit of some corn plants, but again, not worth anything. And I know, before anybody even says it, well, you should have sprayed it. You should have sprayed it. But I didn't. So that's what happens. So now we're just gonna mow it off, make our life simple, and we're gonna save diesel fuel in the long run, sort of, by not having to run the combine up here anyway. So it's one way to look at it, I guess. And then you have the upper field, which for some reason this is more ragweed. There's some foxtail out there, but this is more ragweed than anything. You can just barely see the rows out through there. As you get closer to the top, it does seem to get a little bit better, so we may leave from here up. And I don't really know why it grew better here at the top, but it did. And there's ears and stuff on. They're not huge, not by any means, but there's definitely corn growing here. So, you know, it may pay to try and harvest this and get what little corn we can out of it, because obviously at the end of the day we do have inputs in this. So I understand there's a line where you got to cut your losses, and with corn being $3 and whatever, I just seen it was $3.65, I believe, but input costs never change. I'll go grab the tractor. I think I have decided for this field we're going to let this top taller section here at least right here. I don't know how it is out further middle of the field, so we'll probably mow from here down. We'll let the hayfield portion, and then we're going to mow all of that second cornfield down below there, because it's all foxtail. That's where we're going to start. Then we have probably 3 more fields to do after that. You can kind of see the extent of the foxtail. It just goes the whole way. Apparently I planted foxtail seed, not corn seed. How silly of me. nice being in a cab tractor to do this. This is all ragweed and stuff that's not so good to breathe in. Making quick work out of these fields. It's really a shame, but it is what it is. It's just not worth bringing the combine up here, especially for this one. You can just tell there's no corn in this. Up there's a little bit of a different story, but it's just all so much foxtail. And it is thick. Very, very thick. Pretty much only 3 passes to do this one. It's definitely a shame, but like I said, it is what it is. We just gotta roll with what we got, and we'll deal with every problem that comes arise for us. This tractor is really nice to operate. It is a shuttle, so you just have the little lever here. I still use the clutch. I just tend to kind of nicer, so I try to do that, but you can see the corn rows in here. It's just not worth anything. It's not worth, there's hardly any ears on any of this stuff, and where you do find the ears, it's more or less little tiny things, and you know, it's not worth bringing the combine up here for 2-3 years. Now, yeah, I could have let some of this for the deer, but the deer have enough corn around as is, and there's not really any corn growing on this anyway, so it's basically just a plant. This 15-foot mower definitely makes life easy. You can just see the corn rows out ahead of us here. Just not ideal. We are mowing. If you guys have not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video. There is plenty of farming content coming all the time. There's 2 fields done. Even this hayfield right here, down at the end over here, definitely a lot of foxtail. This is kind of what we're left with. Again, some of this is just probably not worth anything, but I figured I'd give it the chance. a lot of the end here. I probably could have taken another couple rows out of it. But the biggest thing is in the center here. Yeah, even some of these just aren't the greatest. I probably could have mowed a lot more of this. But there are years. They are not the best. In fact, half of these just don't even have anything on them. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, they're not the best. Oh, there's a good one. Here's a nice one. So whether we even bring the combine up here or pick by hand or whatever, but that's probably the nicest one we got on this field. There's another one. All in all, if all else fails, it'll give something for the deer to eat. This cornfield here is looking pretty good. Section there that was too wet when we planted, but overall, pretty nice. Better than the last one we just did. The next field here is a field that I plowed up, but we never actually planted anything in here. So it just kind of grew up with weeds. So we'll take care of this. This one we're gonna have to keep the mower lifted up because this is still pretty rough from being plowed. This little field here didn't really have much in it, but there was some really tall weeds at areas, so went over it, made it a little bit nicer, cleaned it up a bit. Now the next place is the pumpkin patch that got flooded down in the Big Creek field where we have corn, and it's all foxtail. Hopefully we can get in, hopefully it's not too wet, but we'll find out. This is what I'm talking about. And there's all sorts of trash and everything else in here, logs. We're really gonna have to watch out. I'm gonna put the tractor in 4-wheel. It is a little soft, so I don't know how this is gonna go. We may not even be able to come in here and do this, but we'll find out. It really needs cut. It's all foxtail. And even if the flooding wouldn't have killed the pumpkins, all this foxtail overgrowth probably would have anyway, so. Such a bad weed. What I'm going to try and do is we'll try and mow down here. Now I know up here in front of me is the wettest spot, but with all the foxtail, maybe it soaked up enough of the water. I'm just going to watch the tires. If we start collecting mud, start spinning, we're backing out. Actually, this was, I mean, clearly it's mowed now, but solid. Collected a little bit back here. Some of that was there. Nothing on the front tires. So huge plus that it wasn't muddy. I did put it in 4-wheel drive anyway, but we didn't need it. Kubota M8580 did perfect. This cornfield, on the other hand, this is real nice. Really nice. I wish I could have done everything, but it was a little wet when we started planting. Now there's a lot of ears that are gone from animals, but then, you know, we're getting some decent ones. So definitely happy about that. Some of them were we have some smut on some of them, but definitely should be a decent field come harvest. I'm gonna go mow at least one field lane yet, and then I'm done. Gonna put everything away and enjoy the beautiful weather for the rest of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the Kubota M8580. As always, I hope you have a great day. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll see you next time.